Today on CTV News at 5, new details in a shooting nearly 1 year ago in Cambridge. What we've learned about the person arrested. Plus, if your family is struggling to access dental care, Public Health has options for you. The cleanings and clinics available. And getting set for the World Series showdown, Trey Savage gets the start for the Jays in Game 1. More on the preparations in place. CTV News at 5 starts right now. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for being here with us. We have new details in a deadly shooting that happened nearly 1 year ago in Cambridge. One man was killed, another hurt. Police arrested someone in connection to the incident yesterday. We go to CTV's Colton Weens live with more on this. Colton, what have you learned today?
Well, Leanne, Waterloo Regional Police say 37-year-old Charles Barnes Fountain of Cambridge was arrested at a residence in Cambridge yesterday, now facing charges of second-degree murder, attempted murder, and breach of probation. This stems from a shooting on November 27th last year when neighbors told police they heard what sounded like gunshots in the Lena Crescent and Pamela Lane area. When police arrived to a townhome, they found a 40-year-old Cambridge man with gunshot wounds. He was pronounced dead at the scene, while a 31-year-old man from Cambridge as well was also found with a gunshot wound. He was taken to hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Now, officers arrested Barnes Fountain on Wednesday. Police believe it was a targeted incident and don't expect to make any additional arrests. I'll have more information regarding the investigation coming up at 6. Leanne.
Thank you for the update on that. CTV's Colton Weens reporting live. The region of Waterloo launched a new campaign today to promote a sense of belonging. We'll go to CTV's Tony Grace live in studio with a closer look at this and some other stories our team is following today. Tony.
Leanne, thank you. Waterloo Region is among the top 3 municipalities in Ontario for the number of hate crimes reported per capita. The goal of this campaign, making sure that everyone feels safe and welcome, regardless of their identity. The campaign's encouraging people to call out hate if they see it happening and to reflect on how they can promote belonging.
We've been hearing time and time again how incredibly difficult it is for many community members in the Waterloo Region to feel safe and to feel well, and that they are experiencing hurt, harm, and hate in everyday ways in their lives, and that for this region to really prosper and do well, that we needed to address that.
Coming up at 6, CTV's Karis Map has more on the goals and the visual elements of this campaign. Also tonight, some residents of Kitchener's Dune South neighborhood unhappy about a backyard construction project. It's allowed under a new bylaw that covers additional dwelling units, but neighbors say this project is just too big and too invasive, and they fear it will hurt the values and enjoyment of their own homes.
You've got bedrooms at the back on the left and the right side of the unit. So one, the window will overlook where we're sitting. The waterproof Tivix right now is covering that window. But there's another one on the other side that is raised high enough that it looks over the 6-foot fence on that side, right into the backyard of that neighbor.
The city says this project meets code, but it's at the very maximum allowed height. CTV's Jeff Pickle has more on this coming up. So we'll see you for those stories and more at 6. Leanne, back over to you.
Tony, thanks very much. And Alex is here. Another rainy day.
Another rainy day.
Waterloo Region. Rinse and repeat.
I was just going to say, it's literally another rinse and repeat kind of day. Yeah, definitely a day where you wanted to get the umbrella, those rain boots nearby, and be prepared if you did have plans to maybe go out for a bit of a walk, which I know you did a little bit earlier.
Yeah, it's hard because you get that little bit of a break, but it just didn't last very long today.
No, so trying to time it out is a little bit tricky. So, hey, I don't blame you if you didn't head outside today.
Me neither.
Stay inside, staying in dry too. But yes, look at that. So more rain potentially on the way as we get into the evening hours, even into your overnight hours as well. And a little bit more wet weather could be sticking with us ahead of the weekend, but then we're expected to get a little bit of a break, which we will get into a little bit later. Temperature-wise, things are definitely starting to cool down a bit. 8 degrees for us here in Waterloo Region right now. Similar conditions in Goderich. It is 11 if you're in Sarnia, 12 in Windsor. So many of us around that seasonal mark or just below at this point, but we could potentially see some mixing conditions. We're going to break that all down in the forecast a little bit later.
Ooh, don't like to hear that.
It's the season.
Exactly. We're into it. Okay, we'll take a quick break, tell you what you need to know. Check out Form, a sustainable fashion fundraiser tonight. It's happening in Waterloo. They've got a silent auction, artisan alley, and an after party, all in support of accessible arts education programs at the Kitchener Waterloo Art Gallery.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We go to a dramatic scene unfolding.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. ctvkitchener.ca, your home for news.
If your family is struggling to access dental care, Public Health has some options for you. Dr. Matthew Tenenbaum is the Associate Medical Officer of Health in Wellington Dufferin Guelph and joins us to talk more about this. Dr. Tenenbaum, thanks for your time as always.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Of course. One thing we all know is that dental care can certainly be expensive. Can you tell us some of the options Public Health offers for people who maybe aren't able to afford it?
Absolutely. So dental care and generally oral health care is something that's really underappreciated, I think. People think about it as just the health you have in your mouth, but not having appropriate dental care can lead to a lot of diseases and conditions that affect all parts of your body and can be a significant reason that your quality of life is not what it could be. It is not something that is kind of an optional part of health. It really is core to health for people throughout our society. And in Public Health, we have a number of programs that we either offer or connect people with, recognizing how important dental care is. So we have received in the past funding from the province to offer basically programming towards young kids called Healthy Smiles Ontario, as well as more recently we've had the Ontario Seniors Dental Care Program being something we can offer, kind of targeting young people and old people in our community. We now most recently have a federal program, the Canadian Dental Care Program, which we are integrating into our operations, which is actually going to have a broader set of eligibility criteria, so hopefully more people in our community who don't have existing dental care coverage can get it.
Okay, we're going to talk about some of those programs. Let's start with the seniors and what's offered for them. You offer preventative and restorative services for oral health for seniors. Can you tell us more about it?
Sure. So people who meet certain eligibility criteria based upon their sort of their income and other elements of their well-being, they can apply either with the Canadian Dental Care Program or the Ontario Seniors Dental Care Program. We do offer clinics, both preventative dental care and restorative dental care in our offices. Recognizing that we do have this new federal program, we're also seeing that more services are available and attainable for people who are low income in the community from other providers. We are looking at how we can best integrate that with what we're doing in our clinics.
And let's talk about for kids as well, because Public Health actually offers in-school cleanings and clinics. Talk about those and maybe tell us how often you're putting them on as well.
Sure. So we offer clinical services in our offices for young people through this Healthy Smiles Ontario program. You know, obviously, the earlier in life you have your dental needs taken care of, the better a trajectory you're going to be on for the rest of your life, and the lower your risk is going to be of developing some of the conditions that poor oral health can cause. So we do offer clinics for those who meet eligibility, but we also do go into schools, and we do annually basically dental screenings of particular age groups in our schools, just so that we have a sense of how our students are doing and what the state is of oral health in our community. As well, we do offer fluoride varnish to certain students who are eligible based upon their risk, because that can be an evidence-based way to prevent cavities and other oral health problems. So we do try and not just wait for people to come to us in our clinics, but go out into schools where we can actually connect with students annually.
Now, is there any option through Public Health for someone experiencing pain who might need emergency dental care?
So the bottom line is, if you are in pain and you don't have existing dental care coverage, give us a call. We can work with you to figure out, first off, what the underlying issue is behind your pain, but also how you fit into the eligibility criteria for the various dental programs that we're involved with. We will either try and bring you into our clinics or figure out a better place for you to access care in the community. We don't want anyone who's experiencing that to feel like they have nowhere to go. You can always contact us.
And how can people find out more about the services they can receive through Public Health and also find out if they're eligible to receive those services?
So the easiest way is to go to our website, wdgpublichealth.ca/smile, where we have a whole bunch of information about all of our oral health services. I'll also mention you can give us a call at 1-800-265-7293. That's our dental line, and you can get more information about our programs and your eligibility through that line. Finally, I would like to mention that if you're interested in engaging with us about your dental needs, we are currently running a dental needs survey that's about 10 minutes long, and it's something you can access through wdgpublichealth.ca/dental survey. And if you participate, you can be entered into a draw to win one of 5 $100 grocery gift cards.
Okay, fantastic, because this is great information. I think maybe a lot of people don't know about that you can get these oral services through public health. So thanks for that, Dr. Tenenbaum. Dr. Matthew Tenenbaum is the Associate Medical Officer of Health in Wellington, Dufferin, Guelph. Appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Taking a break, tell you what you need to know. The 12th annual Hockey Helps the Homeless Waterloo Region Tournament is just a day away. It all kicks off tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. at Rim Park in Waterloo. So far, more than $310,000 has been raised to help support local community charities and groups. Stay with us.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Well, it is a rainy, damp, cold fall week here in Waterloo Region. You know what I noticed in the mornings too? It's so chilly when you're going out for that morning walk. I actually have now started wearing not only a hoodie, but a jacket on top of it as well.
All the layers. I have now brought the scarves back too, officially.
Came like that.
And so it begins. And it feels like, you know, it might be too soon, but really we are kind of getting into that seasonal territory as we inch closer to the end of October, and November is right around the corner.
How?
I don't know. This month just flew by.
Yes, it did.
We're taking a live look from our tower cam this afternoon. Quite a bit of cloud cover still out there overlooking the city of Kitchener. Right now sitting at 8 degrees, so it's dropping a little bit. Noticeably cooler out there as well, and daytime high though 10 degrees for us, so still overall a little bit chilly. So it was a day to layer up, like Leanne said, especially in the early morning hours when we're really noticing a bit more of a chill. I noticed that walking the dog this morning for sure. I too needed to kind of layer up a couple of sweaters with the rain jacket out there. And as we get into the evening hours, into the overnight, we saw quite a bit of rain today. Heavy downpour at times too, depending on where you may be. But yeah, it looks like we're not really getting much of a break for a little bit. We could be seeing some scattered showers on and off once we get into tomorrow, but then again another round expected as we get into the Friday evening hours as well. That said, though, getting into the weekend, things are looking pretty nice. I do want to stop it here, though, as we get into the overnight Saturday, early morning hours. This is when we potentially could see some mixing conditions, so possibly some wet flurries could be in the forecast. Whether that actually happens, too soon to say at this point, but at this point, yes, we are seeing the potential for possible mixing, and it's that time of year again when things start to get cool, especially getting into the overnight lows. We are going to be getting back into the negative territory very, very soon. Temperature-wise, many of us sitting at or below seasonal. So as I mentioned, 8 degrees for us here in Waterloo Region, 8 in London, 11 degrees if you are in Toronto or the GTHA or even in the Sarnia area this hour. Overnight, 2 degrees is our expected low. Again, more showers expected to stick with us. And then tomorrow, cloudy conditions, 60% chance of showers as we are expected to hit a daytime high of just 9 degrees. Daytime highs and lows, though, pretty much sitting seasonal. Record high 24.6. That was back on this day in 2020, and it was minus 6.7 in 1969. And tonight's definitely not going to be the best night for a sunset. 6:26 is when that sun is going down, and yeah, it'll be covered up by all the clouds we are expected to see as well. So once we get past a bit more cloud cover for tomorrow, a little bit of sun could return for your Saturday. We are seeing a slight chance for some wet weather with a high of 11, but take a look at those overnight lows, -3, -4 for even a couple of days. So we're definitely going to be chilly. If you haven't covered your plants, you definitely want to do so, or maybe bring them into the garage if you do have some planters out there. But take a look at that. Sunday looks like we could be in for plenty of sunshine.
Okay, we are all gearing up for the World Series. Lots of talk about it today.
Absolutely.
Okay, Toronto Blue Jays will start 22-year-old Trey Savage in Game 1 between the Jays and Dodgers. Of course, that one's happening tomorrow night.
We are counting down to tomorrow. So this is going to be Savage's third start for the Jays this postseason, and only his 7th major league start. Now, Blue Jays manager John Snyder explained his decision to start the Jays rookie.
Just in talking to all those guys, it made sense to hold Kev off for a day. Again, still kind of working through when that will be, whether it's 2 or 3, but think that it kind of was the best possible outcome for everyone in terms of matchups and rest.
Some in the media south of the border have tried to frame the matchup between the Jays and Dodgers as a David versus Goliath meeting. The Jays and Dodgers met for just 3 games during the 2025 regular season. That early August series in LA saw the Dodgers win 2 of the 3 games, outscoring Toronto 14-2 in their wins. Slugger Shohei Ohtani recorded 7 hits and 2 home runs. The Jays won the 3rd game 5-4. The Jays manager isn't letting the media or past performance dictate his club's fortunes heading into Game 1.
2 best teams left standing. Again, built differently, have different strengths, and man, there's a reason we're here and there's a reason they're there. You know, I think the one thing we cannot do is look over there and say that is Goliath. That is a beatable baseball team that has its flaws and that has its really, really good strengths. How we expose each of them will determine who wins the series.
Fans are also preparing. Many lining up early at the Jays store this morning to get their hands on World Series merch, with lineups snaking around the Rogers Centre. Not surprised about that.
No, not at all. And even though it is in Toronto, does not mean it's easy or cheap to get a seat in the Rogers Centre. Fans are reporting some ticket listings in the tens of thousands of dollars. With that in mind, the Premier says he might bring back rules limiting the price of resold tickets.
My personal opinion, I got to talk to the whole team, but they're gouging the people. When you have one player in the market that controls the tickets, that's not right for the people. So we're actually reviewing that right now.
While official World Series tickets are sold through Ticketmaster, they are also resold through other sites, sometimes at many times the original cost. Back in 2019, the Ford government scrapped a Liberal law that would have capped resale prices at 50% above face value, calling it unenforceable. Opposition parties say the PC should have reversed course sooner.
Ford government once again failed everyday people in order to align themselves with corporate interests.
We need the government to take action.
People expect their government to make sure there's fairness.
For its part, Ticketmaster said in a statement, "We appreciate the concern about the high prices to the World Series, but Ticketmaster is not setting these prices, nor is any one person or entity. The resale prices are set by numerous small sellers." So you're lucky if you got your hands on a ticket to a World Series game. Okay, stay with us. We have more news coming up after the break, but first, we'll tell you what you need to know, calling all designers, developers, or those supporting websites in any capacity. Enjoy networking and fun at the first ever Southwestern Ontario Drupal Camp. This free event is happening at the Kitchener Public Library tomorrow. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this break. The final 5 stories we're keeping an eye on today. There's no word just yet what caused a crash involving multiple vehicles that closed a major intersection in Waterloo earlier today. Weaver Street North was closed northbound between Marshall Street and University Avenue East. Weaver and University was also closed but has reopened. Police say one of the drivers involved fled the scene, but officers have not said whether they're still looking for them. There's no word on what caused the crash or if anyone was hurt. Toys R Us Canada is warning customers their personal info may have been hacked in a cybersecurity incident. The toy chain sent an email to customers who were affected saying names, addresses, emails, and phone numbers were accessed. The company says the breach did not involve credit card information or passwords and that it began its investigation over the summer. Toronto's Billy Bishop Airport is preparing for a major increase in cross-border travelers as Air Canada launches new routes to the United States. Starting next spring, the airline will offer non-stop return service to New York at the LaGuardia Airport. That'll happen 4 times a day. There will be 3 daily flights to Boston, 2 to Chicago, and a daily flight to Washington. Porter Airlines has been operating flights from Billy Bishop to U.S. cities for some time, but Air Canada is taking this step as the island airport prepares to open U.S. pre-clearance facilities in the coming months. That means travelers can go through customs before takeoff. A popular program that trains future PSWs is celebrating a milestone. The St. Louis PSW Living Classroom turns 5 years old. It's known as Ontario's first school board-run living classroom model, working with the Waterloo Region Catholic School Board to train adults at Fairview Mennonite Home in Cambridge. It's called a living classroom because it brings textbooks to life. They learn in the classroom using mannequins before going upstairs to help residents in the long-term care home.
Down in class, we teach somebody how to assist somebody at mealtime. And then we can go upstairs and say, it's lunchtime, let's go upstairs and help at mealtime. So it opens up so many opportunities for them to learn. Some of our students have never set foot in long-term care when they start our program.
At 6, CTV's Heather Senerin will explain the program's plans to expand.
To touch them and look into their eyes, that's kind of what got us, I think, and made us, do the right thing. I hope we did the right thing.
Okay, finally for us, he's talking about a touching moment on the Atlantic coast where 2 men discovered 3 pilot whales too close to shore and struggling to get back to deeper water. This video captured the moment on Port Hood Island in Nova Scotia when the men jumped into action and helped the whales back into more comfortable depths. The Marine Animal Response Society was alerted and was on the way, but called their team off when they heard the public had stepped in. Wow, what an incredible moment that was. Luckily, everyone's safe, and the whales are too, and it's all caught right there on video. Okay, we'll leave it there. Tony Grace will have your next local news coming up tonight at 6 at the top of the hour. For now, we'll send it over to CTV National News. Have a great night, everyone.